Well, let us give thanks. Let us give thanks that we all made it upstairs. Let us give thanks that we are the people who've been invited to share this evening with Mary Beth and Chris. Let us give thanks that our cell phones are turned off. Pictures are okay, just turn the sound down. This is an evening for rejoicing, for we are gathered together to honor the marriage of Mary Beth Waterbury and Christopher Ladaro. Did I do it right?
Yeah.
Did you mess that up? A wedding is a public ceremony to celebrate a private love. To speak of love is to call it forth. To speak of love among friends is to call it forth and bid it multiply. This evening we will join together in a ceremony that will raise an honorable love and partnership to another level. Homer wrote, "There is nothing nobler or more admirable than when two people who see eye to eye keep house as a married couple, thus confounding their enemies and delighting their friends and family." You are the delighted people. You are welcome here this evening. In answering the invitation to be here, you have created a circle of love and support, and specifically this evening, you are a virtual circle of ceremony. In a few moments, Mary Beth and Chris will step into this circle of ceremony that you have created. They will proclaim their love and commitment to one another. They will pledge that from this time forward, they shall be joined in marriage. They will promise they will carry each other in their hearts wherever they may go. They will also promise that no matter what life may bring, they will walk it hand in hand. Another word for a personal declaration is a transformation. We become what we declare ourselves to be. And to seal the deal, a declaration requires witnesses. That's you people. You each have been invited here for a special purpose, not just to witness, but to participate fully in thought and spirit, to walk with Chris and Mary Beth as they move through their ceremony. Through your presence as we release the world out there and we focus on the world between us here, mystery and faith will intersect with fact and the physical world. We now slow time down. We circle the wagons. We reach back to rituals past. We anchor ourselves in this moment. We do not create the marriage. You two have to do that. But what we do is create the ceremony that will mark the place where Mary Beth and Chris's relationship transforms in a public way. It is our presence and focused participation that will add the final ingredient for the transformation from beloved ones to married. Therefore, I ask you now, please look upon this couple with favor, bestow your personal blessing on them in whatever form that takes. They are stepping onto the bridge of from here to there. For the duration of this ceremony, we will walk with them as their honor guard, our guardians and their witnesses. And as this ceremony concludes, and you will see the difference, you will be able to look at them with their transformation complete as a married couple. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. It's magic. So look at them now, send them your love, and your blessing. You just wait, they don't think they're gonna see it. This marriage will honor and celebrate two histories rich with people who have loved, inspired, and mentored the two of you. You're such a perfectionist. As part of this celebration, which is a celebration of past, present, and future, we acknowledge loved ones who cannot be here today. Some of them are no longer on this plane, and others are separated by physical distance. We think of Chris's grandfather, Harold Ladaro. We think of Mary Beth's uncles, Arthur Tuccio and Daniel Waterbury. And we think of Chris's uncle, Joseph Cifione.
Cifione, close enough.
Cifione. I always think at times like this, if each of us could snap our fingers, each of us could think of some person who we love, who could be here right this very second. Maybe they're far away, maybe they've passed on. But let's each of us take a moment and think of someone who we love and invite them into this circle. Now, on behalf of Mary Beth and Chris, I welcome you here, seen and unseen. I thank you for making this an extraordinary evening and a blessed gathering. Chris's sister, Caitlin, will read Instructions for Life for the New Millennium by His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. Caitlin?
Take into account that great love and great achievements involve great risk, and that a loving atmosphere in your home is a foundation for your life. Be gentle with the earth and be gentle with each other. When disagreements come, remember always to protect the spirit of your union. And when you realize you made a mistake, take immediate steps to correct it. Remember that the best relationship is one in which you love one another exceeds your need for each other. So love yourselves, love one another, love all that is your life together, and all else will follow.
Thank you. Sure, let's get rid of that. No such thing as too much clapping. And now to the story of Mary Beth and Chris. Although this is a story with which most of you are familiar, it is a version that the three of us have crafted together. We place it in the center of the ceremony, for that is where it belongs. Every story has its roots, and it's in the telling that the roots are nourished. Mary Beth and Chris met online at Match.com. Mary Beth saw Chris's picture, and something about it looked genuine. He was cute, of course, but he didn't look like he had just spent an hour prepping for his photo like so many of the other guys looked. She read what he wrote and was intrigued by his style and his humor. She sent him an invitation to connect. When Chris saw Mary Beth's profile, he thought the black and white photo made her look very intense. He was intrigued by her intelligent and well-written profile, so they began corresponding, and the conversation was easy and without pressure. Their communication was filled with listening. Back in the day, we called this courting. Finally, Mary Beth told Chris, "Okay, we have to meet now." And the way they met was indicative of how they are as a couple. They collaborated. Chris suggested that Mary Beth pick the neighborhood and he would pick the bar. The neighborhood was the East Village, and his choice was McSorley's Ale House. You see, these people have been to bars. They met and found a place at the bar, which is not easy at McSorley's, and the connection was made. It was a short night, but it was enough to make each of them know they wanted more. On their second date, they went to the best falafel joint in the world, which was, at that time, a tiny hole in the wall. Mary Beth suggested they get a couple of beers and retired to a nearby park. There's a lot of beer drinking going on here. Mary Beth thought nothing of this, but there was something about the idea that bowled Chris over. This woman was cool. No doubt about it. So it was on that second date their connection took off. They talked for hours and hours. And by the end of the evening, it was clear that they were a pair. Here was a gold mine that was waiting to be discovered. They knew they had something special that they wanted to protect and explore. Mary Beth and Chris discovered when they risked reaching in beyond what was visible that each of them was and is a person of high standards who values the truly important things in life: family, friends, and the time to enjoy them. They shared mutual respect, integrity, responsibility, generosity, and hard work. They saw that they gave their best without hesitation and expected the best from others in their work and in their private lives. There has never been any pressure with this relationship. Pressure from circumstances, sure, but not pressure that was self-inflicted. In all your time together, you have never tired of one another's company. To other people, this may seem corny or weird or boring, but there's nothing to be done about it. You are fated to be happy. This does not mean there have been no hard times. You have had a few rough patches, but these were also the times where you learned to lean on one another in new ways. You have taught each other how to be in a relationship. You have learned together that communication is the key to a successful partnership. This requires a two-way flow, and you also learned that neither of you is a mind reader. Yours is a relationship in which it is safe to be yourselves. You can express your love as well as your opinions, and you do, because each knows the other is truly listening. You can disagree, and you do. You can do it without fear because you don't sweat the small stuff. When there is an issue that needs discussion, you both are committed to bringing it to the light. You don't believe in brooding or unnecessary tension. You trust each other to sort out your differences. You step back, you review the situation, and you move on together. You communicate with gusto, respect, and honesty, so that sensitive issues are diffused and thought is given as to how to navigate a similar situation as a team. You have no hidden agendas. You put everything on the table then, and you still do that. You respect and care for yourselves as well as each other, because you know that if you are not happy as a single, you will not be happy as a couple. You have faith in who you are together because you have faith in who you are as individuals. You have faith in who you are as individuals because you have faith in who you are together. You have each other's back, and this knowledge makes you strong and brave. You are also fiercely independent. You don't live in each other's pockets. You came to each other fully formed, with histories and habits that were not going to change. So you take advantage of each other's strengths, and you learn from it. Mary Beth is intuitive. Chris is logical. Mary Beth is not afraid to be confrontational. Chris is more of a mediator. If they are traveling, Chris will assemble all the directions and promptly hand them over to Mary Beth so she can get them to the destination. When they leave the apartment, however, it is Chris who remembers the keys. Of course, he's got them now, she says. Of course, there is laughter, which, as you two know, is best shared. Your humor shows up in unexpected ways. It's always lurking around a corner. You confess to being silly people who laugh at the ridiculousness of life, each other, and at yourselves. You love to make each other laugh, and then you laugh at the fact that you can make each other laugh. Your humor keeps your hearts open and adds technicolor to being alive. Like Dr. Seuss said, we are all a little weird, and life is a little weird. And when we find someone whose weirdness is compatible with ours, we join up with that person and we fall into mutual weirdness. We call that love. Marriage was never a requirement for the two of you. After being together for nearly 4 years, after many discussions on the pros and the cons of marriage, you knew that it was a destination. And so it came to pass on a Wednesday evening in June of last year, Chris suggested the two of them bar hop their way up the West Village. Soon they were approaching McCarthy Square, which was the postage stamp of a park where they had their second date. As they approached the park, they saw there were other people sitting on their bench. What was up with that? No matter, they found another bench to sit on. Chris magically produced 2 tall Sapporos, the same beer they were drinking on that special second date. Beer, beer, beer. And at a certain point, Chris put down his drink, took a knee, and proposed. Mary Beth said yes, which brings us to this evening. Over the years you have been together, you have come to understand that your relationship is a continual process of knowing and choosing each other every day. For you, marriage solidifies your commitment. It is publicly saying, I am all in. You're the one. Because you want to be connected in a public way, because you have always been responsible to and for one another, becoming legally married makes a statement to the outside world that what you, your friends, and your family have privately known for many years will now be known publicly and legally. You are a team. You are a family. Marriage is a declaration that while you may continue to live certain aspects of your lives as individuals, okay, we all go away. It doesn't matter. We just sign it down. Let's sign the certificate down there when we land. Marriage is an agreement to share responsibilities and a promise to sacrifice for each other. It's an assurance to your loved ones that you vow to treat each other with the love and respect that you deserve. Your wedding ceremony is the celebration that shares this promise with your family and friends. The ceremony is a moment to pause, reflect on everything you are to one another, and say yes to the future. You are closing one chapter and beginning a new one. It is indeed time for you to walk together as a married couple because you are Bashir. Because it is time for you to become Team Ladaro. Who we love is a mystery, and trusting that love is a choice. It's based on that feeling for which you have no facts. Allowing love to blossom into commitment is a way of surrendering to the fact that love is a force, an energy, a power, kind of like this wind. Love is an element which is of greatest value when it's used to create something, in this case, your marriage. As you pull close this circle of intimacy, you will move in the world as a team that makes its mark. Your marriage will not only evolve and shape the rest of your lives, it will be a beacon of love and respect, passion and light, strength and goodness for the rest of us. Your marriage will make the world a better place in which to live. Putting my foot down on that. Mary Beth's aunt, Susan Tuccio, will read the Native American love poem by the Awanich tribe who lived in Yosemite Park.
Hi guys. Hey.
When evening falls, I will look up, and there you will be. I will take your hand, and you'll take mine, and we'll turn together to look at the road we traveled to reach this, the hour of our happiness. It stretches behind us as the future lies ahead, a long and winding road, whose ever-turning means discovery, old hopes, new laughter, and shared tears. This adventure has just begun. Thank you. Love you.
Thank you. Mary Beth and Chris, before you are joined together in marriage in our presence, I remind you of the serious and binding nature of the relationship into which you are now about to enter. Marriage is a voluntary and full commitment that two people make to one another. It is made to the exclusion of all others, and it is entered into with the firm intention that it will last for life. It is in this spirit I now ask you both, have you come here freely and without reservation, to pledge yourselves to each other in marriage? Chris?
Yes.
Mary Beth?
I have, yes.
Goody. Will you now please join hands? So you can warm up. The hands you're holding are the hands of your best friend. These hands are offered to you with trust and faith. Cherish this touch, for this is a place where your two lives meet. Be ever sensitive to its innocence and protective of its life force. Mary Beth, you are the best person Chris knows. You are smart and have the warmest heart. They broke the mold when they made you. You are one of one. You are intelligent, beautiful, strong, and possess enormous integrity. He thinks you could be president if you set your mind to it. He would trust you to defuse a bomb. He leans on you when times are tough. When he is feeling stressed out and defeated, you inspire him to act like a big kid when he's feeling tired or down. He can count on you for support and strength enough for both of you. You understand one another in a way that is hard to put into words. You are from the same tribe. You two have been in the trenches together romantically and professionally. He loves to make breakfast for you. You are compatible in every way, even proportionally, because your head fits perfectly on his shoulder. He loves that you two, plus your dog, Georgia, are already a family. He trusts you with his life. You are funny, you are kissable, you are a badass. You are the person with whom Chris wants to grow old. He is honored to have you at his side. He loves you more every day. You are home. Chris is crazy with gratitude and joy and cannot wait to become your husband. Oh, yes. Chris, you are thoughtful, intelligent, genuine, and big-hearted. You have a warming presence that fills Mary Beth completely. When you hold hands, she will feel that through your palms. You are one of the best, most extraordinary partners ever, and the coolest guy Mary Beth has ever met. Period. You inspire her to push herself professionally. You inspire her to show compassion to others and to refrain from judgment. You are a great listener and always give insightful feedback. Thanks for sticking by her side. Thanks for bringing her flowers sometimes just because. When something remarkable happens, you are the person she wants to tell, to share the moment with. To her, you are the funniest person on the planet. But she knows you are also serious and contemplative. She has loved the process of getting to know you bit by bit, peeling away the complex layers of who you are. She loves to make your birthdays extra special. She knows that you are from the same tribe, and the fact that you found each other out of all the people in the world is truly a beautiful thing. You are the person with whom Mary Beth wants to grow old. She is honored to have you at her side. She loves you more every day. You are home. Mary Beth is over the moon with gratitude and joy. She cannot wait to become your wife. Therefore, Mary Beth, do you take Chris to be your husband? Do you promise to love, honor, protect, and support him through whatever may come your way?
I do.
Chris, do you take Mary Beth to be your wife? Do you promise to love, honor, protect, and support her through whatever may come your way?
I do.
Up until this moment, you've been many things to one another: best friend, partner, companion, and beloved one. You inspire each other to be the best that you can be because you trust in your shared love and generosity. The vows you are about to take are a sacred honor. They were not taken in the beginning of your relationship when there was only hope of living them out. For the past 5 years, you have demonstrated the intent of these vows. These vows have been earned. As you make them, you will cross a new threshold together into a place where a dream will come true for you, because separate from everything and everyone, you, Mary Beth, will be able to look at Chris and say, "This is my husband." And Chris, you will look at Mary Beth and say, "This is my wife." Chris, please repeat after me.
Christopher,
I, Christopher,
take you, Mary Beth,
take you, Mary Beth,
to be my wife,
to be my wife,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
for better,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
to comfort and honor,
comfort and honor,
forsaking all others,
as long as we both shall live.
Well done. Mary Beth, please repeat after me.
I, Mary Beth,
Christopher,
take you, Christopher,
husband,
to be my husband,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
to comfort and honor,
to comfort and honor,
forsaking all others,
forsaking all others,
as long as we both shall live.
May we have the rings, please? These rings are a symbol of love, and love is proof of eternity because it has no memory of a beginning and no fear of an end, so love is a circle like these rings. And they always remind you of your love, which is a grace to this world and a gift to one another. You take the Mary Beth, please place the ring on Chris's finger and repeat after me.
With this ring, I thee wed. Take this ring as a sign of my love and a symbol of all that we share.
With this ring, I thee wed. Take this ring as a sign of my love and the symbol of all that we share.
So literal. Here comes a cold air. You understand.
Let that ring fly away. Dear friends, for Mary Beth, for Mary Beth and Chris, this day is not a culmination of their relationship, but a marking point in their lives together. This evening is about accepting the natural progression of their love and moving ahead with gratitude, grace, and trust with you all as their loving witnesses. It was important for them to express their love and make their commitment in your presence, because without your love and support, they would not be the people who they are. They would not love each other the way that they do, nor experience the happiness they have found together. Without you here, this would not be the wedding day they had imagined and for which they had hoped. They feel extremely fortunate to have two such great families and amazing friends. That you accepted the invitation to be here means the world to them. They hope that you feel how deeply committed they are to one another, and that you understand that this love and commitment does not happen in a vacuum. Their love for each other is connected directly to all of you. And now they invite you to become accomplices to this marriage. Take a little of their love with you as a reward. They have a lot of love to spare, and for as much as each of you has loved Chris and Mary Beth, they wish that gift to return to you tenfold. Because as well as celebrating their love for one another, this evening they also celebrate their love for each of you. You are their special day. Mary Beth and Chris, you have declared that you will live together in marriage, and you have made special promises to each other. You have symbolized it by joining hands, taking vows, and exchanging rings. You have spoken your love, and the voice of all the spirits has made heaven drowsy with the harmony. You are ready to share your life, your name, and your path. The road ahead is open and filled with adventure, so as you step forward, may this blessing shelter your path. Remember that the secret to a good marriage is a secret.